The killer made one small mistake. 1 second ruined everything. That was all it took. Not a scream, not a witness. Just one small mistake.
We have a problem.
What is it?
They're coming for us.
Then we move, now.
I had nothing to do with it.
Then why were you there? I told you I was just passing by.
At first, there was nothing unusual about the death. No forced entry, no signs of a struggle, no witnesses. 34-year-old Daniel Harper was found dead in his apartment on a quiet Sunday morning. He lay on the living room floor, one arm bent awkwardly beneath him, the other stretched toward the couch. Police ruled it a medical emergency within minutes. Heart attack. Daniel was young, but it happened. Rare, not impossible. The apartment was clean, orderly, almost sterile. No broken furniture, no overturned objects, no blood. The front door was locked from the inside. From the outside, it looked like a perfect, natural death. And that's exactly what the killer wanted. Detective Marcus Reed didn't like perfect scenes. They usually weren't. Daniel Harper didn't fit the profile of a man who would drop dead without warming. He exercised regularly. He didn't smoke. He rarely drank. His medical records showed no heart condition. Friends described him as cautious, controlled, almost obsessive about details. He checked everything twice, one coworker said. Locks, emails, schedules. That detail stuck with Marcus. People like Daniel didn't die randomly. They prepared, they planned, and someone else had planned for him. The autopsy confirmed the initial cause, cardiac arrest. But the toxicology report told a different story. A trace amount of succinylcholine, a fast-acting paralytic. It wouldn't leave obvious marks. It wouldn't cause pain. And in small doses, it could mimic a sudden heart failure. The medical examiner hesitated before calling Marcus. "It's tiny," she said. "Almost nothing." "How tiny?" Marcus asked. "Small enough that most people would miss it." Marcus closed his notebook slowly. That wasn't an accident. That was precision. Someone had known exactly what they were doing. And yet, they had made one mistake.
Detective Marcus Reed dug deeper into Daniel Harper's final week. Bank records, work emails, security logs. Nothing unusual. Until he found a meeting Daniel never told anyone about. 3 days before his death. A private appointment, scheduled outside office hours, with someone listed only as E. Collins. No last name, no company. Marcus requested building security footage. At 8:14 p.m., Daniel entered his apartment. At 8:16 p.m., another figure followed. The camera glitched for exactly 1 second. When it came back, the hallway was empty. That was the mistake. The killer had planned everything. The drug, the dosage, the locked door. But they hadn't planned for the camera delay. That 1 second glitch didn't erase everything. It captured a reflection, barely visible in the elevator's metal panel. A watch. Distinctive, vintage, rare. Marcus froze the frame. He knew that watch.
Ethan Collins, former military medic, discharged quietly, expert in fast-acting paralytics, and Daniel Harper's former roommate. They had lived together 8 years ago. A falling out, money dispute, unresolved resentment. Ethan Collins still wore that watch. Social media confirmed it. He had posted a photo 2 days after Daniel's death. Same watch, same scratch on the bezel. The mistake was no longer small. It was fatal. When police questioned Ethan, he didn't panic. He smiled. "I was never there," he said calmly. But Marcus placed the photo on the table. Then the footage. Then the toxicology report. Ethan's smile vanished for 1 second. That was enough. Not a confession, but confirmation.
Harper's arm. A tiny puncture mark. Barely visible. 1 second, Marcus said quietly. That's all it took. Ethan's shoulders dropped. Not in defeat, in realization. The trial lasted 6 weeks. The defense argued coincidence, trace chemicals, camera glitches, circumstantial timing. They painted Ethan as a scapegoat, a man with a past blamed for a death that looked natural. But the prosecution focused on the mistake, not the drug, not the locked door, the timing. The elevator footage showed Ethan entering the building 62 seconds before Daniel's heart stopped. Too close. Too precise. Experts testified about the drug's onset window, about how the dosage had to be administered at the exact moment. Not guessed. Calculated. Ethan never took the stand. When the verdict came, the courtroom was silent. Guilty. First-degree murder. Ethan Collins stared straight ahead as the sentence was read. Life in prison. No parole. The perfect crime had collapsed because of one overlooked second. After the trial, Marcus Reed returned to Daniel Harper's apartment. It had been empty for over a year. Dust coated the shelves. The air felt heavy. Marcus stood where Daniel had fallen. He imagined the final moments. The trust. The shock. The silence. Ethan hadn't killed Daniel because of rage. He had killed him because he believed he was smarter. That was the real mistake. Not the camera. Not the watch. Not the drug. Arrogance. Believing that perfection exists. It doesn't.
The killer thought the crime was flawless. No witnesses, no struggle, no noise. But crimes don't fail because of big mistakes. They fail because of small ones. A reflection, a timestamp, a single second. And sometimes, that's all justice needs.